Okay. Oh, what up, y'all? Test, test. One, two, one, two. You turn me off? Yeah, you don't need to worry about me at all. I'm just hosting my podcast. So, yep, turn me on up. I'm good. I'm good with the live. So everybody's going crazy right now, is what I've been told. Is that the truth? What up? The 147 that's in here, give or take her. Y'all going crazy right now? Turn me up a little bit, mom. And then can you bring me in? Yeah. What up, y'all? Okay, we here. I'm a little late. I'm not gonna front. I'm a little late, but it's all good. Welcome to the PorterWay Podcast. We're live at the Team Porter press conference. I seen some familiar faces in here. Due to the got you. Due to the oh, I thought that was my dash. Am I live around the room? I want to be around the room. Oh, but not around the room, right? Am I around the room? I don't want nobody to hear me. Yeah, don't get me off. I don't want nobody. I hate hearing myself. uh, let me see. All right, let's start this over. Okay, so I like this chair. I might buy it and take it to our new studio at the space. Quick announcement about the space, and then we'll get back to this. But tomorrow I will be doing a recording with Andre Ward. If you don't know, SOG is releasing his documentary on Showtime relatively soon. He'll give us dates and all that kind of stuff. Tomorrow on the podcast, it will be recorded, and that is going to be the first episode that we put up on our Patreon um, channel. And we want to encourage everybody to go to the Patreon and subscribe. We've been promoting that for a little while, and I promise y'all, I'm ready to get consistent content on the Patreon. Beyond the consistent content, I want to do live shows on the Patreon. So we're gonna do a lot more than we've done practically ever on the podcast on the Patreon. I know we've been promoting it for a long time, but our studio is ready, which means we are finally ready. Also, this press conference is finally ready. And I'm sorry I'm late, but this is the the Team Porter press conference. My dad has something big he wants to do, so let's listen in. So my producer ran off and don't have the audio right now, so I'm gonna just keep talking for a second. I hate talking over people. Yep. So we're gonna turn this up and turn them up. Yep. There's some right there. Those two guys right there. FightHype. Yeah, right there.
Since I was about 20 something. No, I've been knowing Kenny just about all my life, but this guy.
Sorry about the audio, y'all.
Remember a little. Training world championship boxers, son over there. That you could think of as champions, champ medalists. I'm saying this man has done. He is.
Turn it down, y'all, because I know y'all can hear that. He getting it together. I don't know who on the turntables tip. Just let them do what they got to do. He working on it. Somebody said Tanks in the live. That's hilarious. Trackman 87. I'm not sure what the announcement is. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm not a part of this. I'm not a part of this. But we will see.
Test, test. He's only worked with great fighters, so you know the cats that he has on his team right now. He's something special. And cool, Mama said, knock you out. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want y'all to get on your feet and clap real loud for Kenny Porter and Team Porter right now. Let's go. Let's go. Test. So I know how it feels. You have hip replacements, nerve damage, all that stuff. I think it's fine back here, but when I go over there. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have a couple speakers come up to the stage and talk about KP. So first, I asked for notes and they gave me hieroglyphics. My third grade daughter, she's 11th grade now. So first we're going to have my man, because he wanted to go first anyway, we're going to have Kenny's cousin, Honcho Hard, and come up and just say a couple words, if that's all right. Is that all right? Yeah. Honcho! Hey, I'm still thinking about it. Study long, study wrong. Study long, study wrong, brother.
All right. We're going to keep this brief. Actually, I found out I was speaking on the car ride over here. Now, I've been at Kenny's house since yesterday, and he didn't say a word to me. So I'm like, I could have got some talking points together and been ready for a speech. Literally, in the car, Dave is reading his hieroglyphics, and he's looking at it, and he's saying, well, reading all the speakers. And I said, wait a minute, that's me. So I guess I'm going to get up here and just, briefly just talk about my relationship with Kenny. Me and well, that's my cousin, so since I've known him my entire life. So I remember Kenny actually taught me how to swim. He worked at the YMCA, and what he used to do is he would sneak me in, and I would hide in the locker because you used to have to go out and come back in for the next swim session. So I would hide in the locker until it was time to come out, and I would just swim all day while he was at work. And that would be he would be my babysitter, even though we wasn't but a few years apart. You know, he taught me how to swim. And then the earlier days, when Dave talked about the boxing, if you guys remember when they did the shows, the amateur shows, I used to be the DJ. If you remember the shows in Akron, I had my stereo equipment from my basement, and I would DJ the shows. And then as the venues got bigger, I would actually help him put on the show. Kenny said, "Cuz I promised my son I'm gonna make him a millionaire." And Shawn hadn't even turned pro yet, and he said, "If I do anything before I leave this earth, my son's gonna be a millionaire." And I knew he was the truth because he had a drive and an ambition to become that. So I said, "I knew when he said that, I said they're gonna be rich." And that's great. I said, "Cause I'm gonna be rich too." And I ain't rich yet. You know, I was doing real estate and all kind of other stuff, and I'm well, but I'm not doing like they're doing. But when he told me that, I said, "Okay." I told my mom, I said, "You know what, Shawn and Kenny gonna be rich." I said,
Hey y'all, my bad. Very very sorry for this. Um, Angle front this is definitely a little unorganized, unorthodox, but this kind of how we move and we shake. Um, we cut all of the audio except for mine because we had static. We do believe that the static was because we had too many mics on, and everything is just crisscrossing. So at the moment, it's just me. Um, as people come up to speak and things like that, we're going to try to figure out how to get audio of them on to this onto this podcast as well. Um, but I will tell y'all that this is a big special moment for my dad. So me personally, I'm not gonna miss it. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If for whatever reason it's not hitting y'all the way it need to hit y'all, I understand 100%. But I'm here, and we're gonna continue to keep this going as as uh as this is going. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's almost on its way, and we want to try to figure out this audio situation so that everyone at the podium can have their time on the show.
It's about my dog. And obviously, y'all didn't care about me. I wouldn't be here anyway. I don't see no food or drinks out. So I'm saying y'all came because you care.
We need Professor Carson up there, straight up. I appreciate the respect, Jay Sharp. I appreciate you to the fullest, man. You ever somewhere, man, hit us up and let us know if you in the vicinity of us. Gotta meet Jay Sharp.
Last time I was just getting y'all into it, this real this time. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Porter!
So we've been told my dad is here, then he ain't here, then he here, then he ain't here. So we waiting on him to come on up in here. And my dad is always about the grand entrance. So we'll see what happens.
It's the victory lap. The marathon continues. The words of the late great Custom.
So let's try just this one.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I was praying mama's friend when I was turning 17, so dirty like the internet. Ask me where you moving, I say on the page.
Go ahead, turn it up. Yep. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah. Y'all got this audio right here. I like it for the most part. A little scratchy. It's a little scratchy. Turn it up some more. Say again. Okay. Yeah, it's still scratchy too. Test, test. 1 2 1 2 1 2. It's scratchy, but it's there. It's there, but it's a little scratchy. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Recognize Mr. and Mrs. Eugene Lavonia Lewis celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. I would imagine, because you don't me. Mr. Lewis, Mr. Lewis was a mentor to Kenny Porter in the 90s when he had this dream of this illustrious career that he has right now. Also in the building, I don't know if she's here, Mrs. Michelle Corrales Luz, wife of former world champion boxer Diego Corrales. Is she in the building? Is she here? Where's she from? I had to, set it up. So we're going to have a few words, and then I'm going to introduce you to the boxers. Y'all can ask questions. We can do all that. I'm going to do some backflips and some earthworm up the red carpet. Earthworm, I'm going to shake the building up, baby. So, we're going to have Mr. Lewis, you wanted to come up and say a few words, didn't you? Well, come on. You said you wanted to go. Let me have Mr. Lewis come up and say a few words while I consult with my constituents.
Good evening, everybody. I've probably been in one of the most unique situations when it comes to the Porters, because I was with them from the beginning. And Mr. Porter has been one of the hardest working persons I ever seen in my life. I mean, I know a lot of hard-working people in my life. I never known nobody to outwork them, nobody. And Shawn was such a thing. I think Shawn was about 5. He was still training outside. He was not old enough, to get in the ring competitively. And I knew by the time Shawn got to the point he was like 12, I knew he was world class immediately. I mean, I just knew they was going to go far. And with his dad, I mean, he got a motor that's unbelievable. Kenny got a motor that's unbelievable. Scary. And hey, you mentioned it. You don't get to this level being a softie or not hard. You got to have a certain mentality about you. And Kenny was able to instill it into Shawn, as a gentleman alluded to earlier. And I'd just like to say I'm proud to be friends of the Porters, and they never disappointed me, and they upstanding people. They are. And I've seen Kenny and Shawn do so many things for our community and support. He'll show up at any event. Anybody asks Kenny to attend something and support, he'll be there, and whether it was related to boxing or whatever. And like I said, I'm just glad to be here to see this day, and wish them good luck for the rest of their lives because they earned it. They've earned it. All right.
All right, Mr. Lewis. You know, I'm about to sit down and talk to you because I'm about 20 with my wife and I'm ready to jump out of a window. How do you do 50? Let's have a press conference. How you do 50? Shh. I'm looking at the front door. Do 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 do. Yeah, it's a lot of work. So now I wanna properly introduce you to Team Porter future championship boxing team. The future boxing championship team. So I have been instructed to tell you that all of them will be going to the PBC Premier Boxing Champion for this year 2023, and the dates will be announced. All the fighters are sponsored by Rival Boxing, so put your hands together for that. All right, so let's get it going. We're going to introduce you to these fighters. First up, 26 years old with a record of 8-0 with 5 knockouts from Macon, Georgia. Put your hands together for Mikhail Montgomery.
Quick backstory on the Montgomery brothers. They turned pro in 2000 and after the 2015 trials. And their careers were halted at like 3-0, and that's Mikhail. His career was halted at 2-0, and then Malik, his career was halted at 3-0. My dad grabbed them, got them out of their contracts, and very quickly got Malik to 10-0, and then quickly got Mikhail to 8-0, and then just kept it going right there. 50 cal, that's what he called himself. I love it. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, too.
Next up, 24 years old, from the Romana, Dominican Republic, a 10-0 with 8 knockouts. Put your hands together for Hendry Cedeno.
Signed Hendry coming out of the 2021 Olympic Games. Signed him before the games and got him to 10-0. So Hendry is 10-0. My dad says he's TV ready, and I believe it. Hendry is sharp, La Bazooka, and he is an entertainer, 100%. 100% entertainer, man, and he loves it. Mikhail fights at, I believe, 122, and then I believe big man over there, La Bazooka, Hendry fights at 135 and also 140.
27 years old, 16-0 with 15 big-ass knockouts. Put your hands together for Malik Montgomery.
My dad got Malik Montgomery to 16-0 in about 2.5 years. And he sat still for like 3 years after turning pro. Was unable to move and do the things he wanted to do. My dad, he came to my dad, basically begged my dad, told my dad, I'll work, I'll do whatever it is you need me to do, just help me. And he got Malik very quickly. 16-0, about 2.5 years from, I think when he got Malik was 4-0, and very quickly got Malik 12 fights. So if you think my dad can only do it with me, my dad is a master business mind. Please believe that. And of course, that's biased, but believe me, my dad can make you a champion in the gym, and he can make you a champion with the paperwork. My dad knows exactly what he's doing. So proud of the two brothers, primarily because They could have let it go, could have just went on and did factory jobs and things like that. They refused to let go of this boxing game because they love it. And they went to my dad, basically said, hey, please help us. And out of the goodness of my dad's heart, only gave, never took.
Did you ever see this being what it is right now?
Stephen Parker, yes, they are brothers.
Did you ever? I'm saying your life, man,
Hendry
is a
might be
movie.
paintballing tomorrow, Carson.
It's. I remember I always tell you. I said, man, if somebody gets your story, it's going to be inspirational to fathers, but black fathers who don't.
We can't use them. So you're going to have to either pass that.
Here, take this one. I don't need it.
I can project.
Me too. So, oh Lord, that should have. Thank God it wasn't me.
Down goes Frazier.
That's Tony TNT Tubbs.
Go ahead. Specifically the
Michael
question.
Dokes. The question is, did you ever see this? I mean, you wanted it, you desired it, but did you see that your son, a world champion, you training for other champions, Olympic gold, silver medalists, and now your own team of boxers that I'm sure they already successful, but with you, sky's the limit.
To be exact, not these exact things or the exact people or exact situations, but everything was expected. I expect my son to be great. I expect greatness out of myself. I expect greatness out of these guys. Somebody said today, is he good, is he great, or is he nice? Right? Nice is, right, the ones who laughing about it. Nice is a whole nother level. Right? And whoever that kid was just over there checking me about these mics, he felt good about that, but I'm the first one to put a mic in his hand. So everything was expected. To know exactly how it was going to happen and what was going to happen, no, I did not know that. But here we are, no surprises to me. I don't celebrate it. I just do it and be a part of it. This is for these guys. It's not for me, because I felt bad that I haven't been putting the information out to let people know and bringing people together to see what they've done and what they can do. So, yeah, it's expected, but the exact situation, no. But all of it's expected.
So I hear in your talk, you expect greatness, and that's all you expect. You don't. No, let me finish. So what was it about each one of these fighters that drew you to them, that wanted you to put your time, your private space, your money, your finances into these three these three guys right here, my new nephews?
I get that. Honestly, just God. None of these guys are here because of talent. They're not here because they look good, even though y'all looking good. They're not here because they knocking out folks. We got some knockouts.
Yeah.
God put them in my life, right? So there were things in place before we ever got here. Before I was ever thought of. It was already written.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I just followed all of that. So I've never had a father, but I've always had a father.
Woo!
Right? And in this particular situation, early on in life, I had a huge loss, which was my brother. Early on in life, like before I even started school, I lost my brother. God has given me brothers throughout my life. He's brought me brothers. I've taken care of someone else's and got someone else across that street. So my son was a lot like a brother to me at points in his life. These two are brothers. This brother came looking for me. I didn't go looking for him. He came looking for me. Then he brought his brother.
Yeah.
Right? I'm all the way in the Dominican Republic. This brother came looking for me, and he brought his brother. I can't make that up.
Can't. That's what I'm saying.
4 brothers came from where they come from, Milwaukee. And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, I got to listen because God is speaking to me, right? Now, even though he brought them, that don't mean they get to stay. You got to put the work in to be here, right? So some of them fell off and went different directions. And the ones that are blessed and blessing me, I'm supposed to bless others. They're here with me today. So none of this was by choice on my behalf. I was chosen to do this. And I'm just listening. That's it.
Good listener, huh?
Yeah, good listening.
They say that good listeners are good leaders. This must be true then. So fellas, and I don't want to take any of the questions away from the media out there. So tell us a little bit, just something quick about your journey and something that's special about the coach to you. Because I know you guys hold him in high regard. So just tell me something special about your journey, your reason for wanting to be in the sport, and what's so great about this guy.
Malik Montgomery,
Looking
16
like
and 0,
Bill.
15 knockouts.
Dollar Bill.
Good evening. First of all, coming from a small town in Georgia, Macon, Georgia, it's rough growing up down there. And our father actually got us into the boxing scene, one day. And it's just from that day on, we started boxing. And after I won national JOs from that point, I wanted to further my career, and I decided I wanted to turn pro. And I ran into a lot of bad situations, management and stuff when I first turned pro. And I reached out to coach, and I just was able to come out here. I actually attended Shawn's wedding. I came out here and just seeing the way he operates, the way, he aims for success, and that's what he expects out of you, the way he pushes me in training and just in life in general. And I just, I got to respect that.
No doubt.
Good evening, y'all. I'm not going to go all the way back like that. My name is Mikhail Montgomery, a.k.a. 50 Cal.
50 Cal.
The main part about my journey that feels special to me, like he said, my brother brought me up here. He got me into it with Coach. And 2 years ago, I walked away from boxing. I washed my hands with it, and I wasn't planning on picking up no more gloves. Once I came out and seen, the program that was put together by Coach, I seen that the opportunities that he gave us and the time that he put into us, the people he introduced us to, the lifestyle that he introduced us to, seeing that was something that, not only that, I respected and I was thankful for that. Many life lessons that he teaches me. One thing that they always tell me, what they asked me was that, what do you want for your kids? Because I have kids. A lot of things that he showed me and he's given me in life, I want to pass that on to my kids. So I think that's the most important thing that I see in him that I really cherish and I really hold dear to me.
Nice. Gassing him up.
He gets it.
Gassing him
No,
up.
he gets it.
Yeah.
When the light comes on, I have to acknowledge that. He gets it. Do we have anyone here who speaks Spanish?
Few.
Fluently. Okay. Can we get a translation here? She? Well, come on, baby. And bring the baby.
She don't have a choice.
Oh, you speak Spanish? Yeah. Oh, okay.
The question was, tell us why you wanted to get into the sport and why coach.
¿Por qué te queriste meter en el deporte y por qué escogiste al coach?
Agradecido con el entrenador Kenny Porter por darme la oportunidad de explotar mi talento, que desde que nací, que en mi casa, mi madre, mi padre, todos han sido boxeadores, mis hermanos, mis tíos, nosotros llevamos esto en la sangre y Kenny Porter me dio la oportunidad de traerme aquí a los Estados Unidos y estamos expandiendo nuestro talento.
I understood part of that. I did.
What did you understand?
Just a little bit. Just don't put me up front. His mom, his dad, his brother, mono brother, Tio, his talent, coach. Yeah, some of it. Don't get.
I kind of forgot that I had to translate that part again, so I'm
These
sorry.
guys
I
are
kinda zoned
signed
out.
with my dad. Malik, I'll go through it again. Malik is
You forgot
16
that
and 0
quick.
now. When he came to my dad about 2.5 years ago, he was 4 and 0, and my dad got him 12 fights in about 2.5 years. And then 50 Cal right next to him, Mikhail, he signed with my dad not long after. And he's got Mikhail to 8-0 in about 2 years. La Bazooka over there is, what he 10 now?
All
12
right, so
and 0?
now we're going to open up the floor.
10 or 12 and 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Team Porter. I present to you Team Porter.
And he signed with my dad. He's been with my dad from day one.
They are yours right now. So who has the first question in the audience? Don't all raise your hands at once either, because everyone will get a turn. State your name, sir.
My name is Wilbur. Question is for Mikhail Montgomery. You already fought. Wait, which one is Mikhail? The older one, right? No.
50, the young one.
No, I want to speak to the older one now because I believe I saw you fight on the PBC card already.
We did.
All right. So I want to know, how was that experience fighting on a card like that, on the cards that you've been fighting on already?
It was an amazing experience. That was my first main event, and it was a big card. And it was just, it was a different experience from what I'm used to, the local fights, the, out of the country fights and stuff like that. But ultimately, we did everything we needed to do in training camp. And once we got there, other than the, the flash, the outfits, the getting everything, the pre-fight, rituals and stuff, getting stuff together, it was just another day.
Okay. Me, hey, I'm giving you a shot. Coach said he's gonna fly you out. He's gonna try you out, and if he likes what he sees, he's gonna bring you on. So, that's how we got here. I packed it up, I left, and I'm here.
All right. So, Mr. Porter, you invited Mikhail Montgomery straight off the strength of what Malik told you, or you had some kind of knowledge of him prior to that?
No knowledge at all. Like I said,
Wow.
God spoke to me. He brought his brother, and I can't say no to that. So everything else is extra. Again, I reiterate it. It's not speed. It's not power. It's not talent. That's not why they're here. If they're able to box, which they box, if they're able to be successful, which they have been successful, if they're able to continue with that success, that's extra for me, right? It's the thing that he already said, like he getting it, he gets it. Like, what do you want to do with your life? What are you going to do for your children? Life, right? So he gets that. So that's where I come from, being that single father and taking care of mine and raising mine up, that he now raising his up. But if he can acknowledge, if he can see that, and he can implement that into his life, this boxing stuff, this is just extra.
This question is for Bazooka. Say it in English first and then in Spanish so you can understand. My question to you is, what was it about Kenny that drew you to him as a fighter? What were some of the things that you saw that he implemented into his son or his coaching style that made you want to be under him? Right, boxing is it transcends language, obviously. Mi pregunta para ti es, ¿qué fue del entrenador de Kenny que te gustó, el estilo de él, viéndolo con su hijo? ¿Qué fue que te atrayó a venir a pelear, ¿sabes?, para que él te entrenara?
Bueno, del entrenador, lo que primero me gustó desde que llegué aquí a ese campamento con él y con su hijo Shawn Porter, fue que yo me sentía como si hubiera sido mi padre, que me empujaba, que me gritaba como si hubiera sido mi padre. Vamos, tú puedes, vamos más. Saca el otro Endry, saca más de ti. Y eso era lo que hacía mi padre con mi hermano, con mis otros familiares y los demás boxeadores que también fueron enseñados por él.
He says that, one of the things that touched him was when he trained with Kenny, that the way Kenny pushed him was like a father figure. It was more than a trainer. He reminded him of his father when he didn't have nothing left, the way he yelled and screamed at him to push him a little further. It was more of a father figure than a trainer, and that was one of the things that he loved and made him feel like at home.
But how are y'all communicating? You don't walk around with a translator.
He speaks English. Go ahead. Say some English. He speaks.
When he talks, sound like he already won, man. You know what I'm saying? You
Go ahead.
already won.
Speak for him. Go ahead.
He asked me how you said where you from. Ask him, say where you from.
La Romana, República Dominicana.
No, you ask them where they from. Say welcome.
Speak it in English.
All right, leave him alone. But I got a question for Hendry. You had to come all the way to the United States. Basically, never been here before. You meeting a man for the first time or being with a man that you hadn't been with ever, but beyond seeing him in the Dominican Republic, did you ever have hesitation? Were you ever afraid or nervous? And how did you overcome anything that you may have faced with making the decision to sign with Coach Kenny Porter right there?
And before you translate that, let's pay respect to this man in the building right now. That's world champion. Shawn Porter. You think you know, I know you know.
Showtime. Showtime. Él te está preguntando que viajando para un país que tú nunca has estado y tú nunca lo conociste en persona, él se imagina que tú tenías nervios, estabas nervioso o que no pensabas lo que iba a pasar. ¿Qué fue lo que te ayudó con eso, con esos pensamientos? Y hiciste tú sabes, algo que es difícil.
Bueno, realmente cuando llegué sí había muchas cosas que me hacía sentir un poco incómodo por la comunicación, pero siempre el entrenador Kenny siempre me demostró que era muy buena persona, al igual su hijo Shawn, y me trataban bien y trataban de buscar la forma de que yo me sintiera bien, a pesar de que ellos también sabían que iba a ser un poco incómodo conmigo porque yo no entendía nada de inglés. A través del tiempo iba entendiendo poquito a poquito, little by little.
Ok, espera, porque para que no se me olvide. Yeah, he's of course there was nerves, and he as soon as he got here, Kenny and Shawn did everything possible to make him feel comfortable. What he was most nervous about was the language barrier. But he said as soon as he got here, even though that barrier was there, they did everything possible to make him feel as comfortable as possible. So right away, those concerns, they went out the window because they made him feel comfortable.
Question for each of you guys. I mean, congratulations to all three of you. I've always respected a fighter, so I'm curious for each of you guys, what's the biggest challenge you've overcome during your fight career?
Who you represent? Come again.
Josh Friedman.
One more time.
Josh.
What's up, Josh?
What's up, dude? How are you, man? Good to see you, Mr. Porter.
State your name, where you from. That's what you said at first. It's all good.
That's a fan. I just fan back there. I was just messing with Josh.
Don't be scared. We need the tape.
Josh, with the zone, make sure you're a subscriber. Big fight tomorrow. So for the three of you, the toughness to be a fighter, so just respect to you guys. What I'd like to know is what's been the biggest challenge during your respective careers that you've managed to overcome to this point?
To this point, it would just have to be being a sponge with everything that that I've learned up to this point, because I'm, of course, me not starting out my boxing career as far as in the amateurs with coach, and I picked up a lot of bad habits coming from the amateurs, translating it over into the pros, and just breaking those bad habits and getting better at the things that we've been working on, and being able to recall it mid-fight or in the middle of training, and just being able to process it a lot quicker and execute it without having to go over it 6-7 times.
And if you didn't know, this is my next TV commentator.
For me, definitely would be sort of what he was hitting on, more or less being that when I go back, not needing anyone to be there to 24/7, have to monitor to me the diet, the boxing lifestyle, the discipline, keeping my weight down, training every day, everything like that. Being ready so you don't have to get ready. I think that was my biggest problem to overcome, because being that I walked away from boxing, it's start over fresh, and then you come into everything is rock and roll and you keep going. So I feel like that's my biggest thing I've overcome.
Él te preguntó que él nunca podía ser peleador porque le dieron en la cara una vez y se quitó rápido. Pero dentro de tu carrera, ¿qué fue lo más difícil, tú sabes, que tuviste que
enfrentar?
Challenging is the word that I'm
enfrentar.
trying to figure. Sí, enfrentar que pudiste, tú sabes, salir mejor al otro lado después de ese algo difícil que de tu carrera completa. ¿Qué fue lo más difícil que tuviste que enfrentar?
Bueno, en primer lugar, yo soy boxeador desde la barriga de mi mamá. Mi padre, en la parte trasera de mi casa, o sea, el patio donde podíamos jugar con juguetes, ahí él tenía un gimnasio de boxeo donde entrenaban los boxeadores de ese tiempo. Y desde que yo nazco, en vez de hallar juguetes, carritos, lo que hallo es guante y un zambá. Tradúcelo.
He says that, he feels like he's been a fighter since he was in the womb of his mom. When he was born, in his backyard, there were toys, and his father had a gym right in the backyard where fighters in the area used to train. So when he was crawling, instead of playing with toys, he grabbed the gloves and the punching bag. So, like, to him, he just was born to do this.
Y lo más difícil que he pasado dentro del boxeo es después de ver a mi madre y a mi padre, que fue una sola persona, que fue mi papá, quien nos crió, fallecer después de llevarme a ser en el equipo olímpico de la selección nacional de mi país. Él falleció en el 2014 y el deseo de él como boxeador, antes de ser entrenador, era llegar a ser campeón del mundo o campeón olímpico. Entonces a mi hermano y a mí, que somos dos, ambos somos boxeadores, el deseo de él y el sueño fue llevarnos a ser campeón del mundo o campeón olímpico, pero lamentablemente él falleció. No nos llegó a verlo en carne propia, pero desde el cielo él no va a ver lograrlo.
He says the hardest thing that he's ever had to deal with was losing his father, because his father had dreams of seeing him and his brothers become amateur champions and world champions. So the most difficult thing is them not being able to see that, because he feels like he will achieve that one day, so he'll have to see it in spirit and not in real life.
Brother of Kenny Porter, and I am my brother's keeper. So all of you stay in line. The question that I have for all of you, on a serious note, are you guys more in love with the allure and plutography of the Shawn Porter and Kenny Porter lifestyle, or do you really want to put in the work? Because everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Plutography is make on my bed, nor do I clean my house. Fact check me. But plutography is lifestyle image of richness and fame. Like that's plutography. Right? And the fact that Shawn Porter's the litmus test, that's 31, 4-1, 2 world championships. You have to compete with that. That took a lot of work, hard work, dedication, and giving up your life, because all three of you said that you came to Kenny Porter. Kenny Porter didn't come to you. Are you willing to put in the work to surpass or be at the litmus test of a Shawn Porter?
Well, like he said at the beginning, if we weren't able to or willing to put in the work, we wouldn't be on this stage right now. And one thing that I take, again, like I said earlier, the things that he gives me outside of the ring, the life lessons, everything that he teaches me and tells me, I could walk away from boxing and still use those things to apply to my life and to grow. So being that Shawn is the example, Shawn is, and Coach has his examples of his expectation of his own, you know. So for that to be, you know, if Shawn is the floor, Coach has it there. So that being said, we definitely have it in us to, you know, want this and want to be here to put that work in to get it.
Tell you something. All three of you. Two things define you: your patience when you have nothing and your attitude when you have everything. So if you are lucky enough to eclipse or be at the levels of Shawn Porter, remember where you came from, because Shawn Porter's still here today. And he has done all the things that you want to do, and he's still here supporting his father. That's where he came from.
You can tell that's his big brother. Go ahead, answer the question, nephew.
Just like how what my brother hit on, I've never been attracted to the allure of professional boxing, the glitz, the glamour of it. To me, it's just aesthetics. It just comes along with it, you know, the press conferences, the official weigh-ins, all of that is to help sell it, to make it bigger. For me, it's just the fundamental of getting in the ring and showing this man across from me that I'm better than him. And that's just how it is. And outside of that, the lessons that I learned from just being around Coach, training, just experiencing different things, whether it's in life, in the ring, for me, that is what I value more than the glitz and the jewelry, the going out, the vacations. All that comes second.
That's good. What's up? I got a question. What's up, y'all? Y'all enjoying yourselves? For real, y'all enjoying yourselves? That's good.
Tell him the short version of it, though.
Answer that question again?
No, his question.
Oh, no.
And
You're going to have to skip Hendry
you got
on
a fan on the stage, too. He said, oh, that's Akin Brenagh.
Man, I'm trying to.
You don't know how to say photography.
Yeah, I can't say
You can't say that, right.
Man, look at. Oh, no, right? Te voy a dar una pregunta bien corta de lo que dijo él. Man. Yeah. Él dice que, tú sabes, su hijo llegado a niveles altos, ¿verdad? Pero tuvo que, y para llegar a ese lugar, y tú vas a poner el trabajo que se necesita llegar a ese nivel, y cuando él aquí con su padre, que ha llegado bien lejos, pero está dando su padre, y tú llegas a ese nivel,
que llegue y donde quiera que esté para lograr eso y más. Él y los demás que también han sido campeones son motivaciones para mí, porque esa es una de mis metas y de mis sueños, y igual de mi padre y de mi familia. Y lo voy a dar todo donde quiera que esté y donde quiera que llegue.
Yeah, he said he's obviously going to give it whatever it takes. I mean, he has goals. He's doing it for himself, for his father. He wants to achieve those goals, so he's willing to do whatever it takes and work as hard as he needs to work to get to that level.
Good answer. Yo, my name is Mason. How y'all doing? Representing Capital Tent and Customs over here filming for Triple OG. I'm from Cleveland, by the way. Y'all ain't know that, right? I'm from Cleveland.
Collinwood.
Went to Collinwood and Cleveland Heights, you feel me? So I got a question. When y'all next fight, and can I film it?
I got a question before I can get an answer. Akin Brenagh probably can probably answer this one. Is Rolly Romero's fight canceled? It is. Damn. Well, we were the co-main event here, May the 13th. Malik Montgomery, 16-0, 15 knockouts. And we're the co-main event on that show. What weight was Rolly fighting at? We can't move up that high. I was ready to say, let's take it. But, yeah, that would have been the next date for us. We'll have to figure out, the secondary plan. We'll pivot and figure it out from there. Can we get Mr. Mallets, Andy Mallets? Can we get Mr. Mallets up here? Get a couple of words from Mr. Mallets. Break this up a little bit. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, real quick. I just want them all to describe their styles and tell everybody what they can expect to see when they do fight. I think we talked about a lot, but we didn't talk about the boxing.
Yes, and yeah,
It's all right.
Absolutely. And,
It's his thing, but it's okay.
And Mr. Ock, tell him the short version.
Tell them
The abbreviated version.
Él quiere que tú expliques tu estilo de boxeo. O sea, tu estilo de... ¿Qué tipo de estilo tú tienes? ¿Boxeador, pegador? Explícalo.
Can we get his video up?
Para mí, yo entiendo que soy un boxeador completo, porque soy un boxeador inteligente. Cuando tengo que boxear, boxeo. Cuando tengo que atacar, ataco. Y tengo de verdad todos los fundamentos y los sé manejar.
He says he's a complete fighter. When he has to box, he boxes. When he has to attack and be aggressive, he does it. So his style is complete.
Good answer. And the short version.
Hey, I'm an aggressive fighter that works off his jab. I throw a lot of punches. I'm a volume puncher. But I'm able to, switch it up at a drop of a dime. And if I need to go off the back foot and work off the jab to set some things up, I can. And that's just me in a nutshell as far as I got a lot in my arsenal. And as far as going forward, I'm just going to get even better. So you guys going to be looking forward to a lot of great fights by me. It's 50. So I can do it. I can go. I can box. I'm a fighter at heart. I love fighting. So of course I'm come forward fighter. Big power puncher. I like throwing. I like throwing hard shots. I got to control. Of course I got to control. Want to get in there and get my man up out of there. But as far as what you expect to see me once I get in that ring. All I see is red. So I got to get to my opponent.
Or do you want more all the time? Are you ever satisfied? Is there ever a moment where you say, all right, that's good? Or it's like, no, more.
My question.
Yeah.
I don't even use that word. I don't use T word. I don't use S. There's a lot of words I don't use, dude. I mean, I like yes, thank you, absolutely, positively, but shit like no, I'm never. It never. That's probably one of my biggest things with people when they just comfortable. Like literally, it bothers me to see somebody just sleeping all the time. Somebody told me the other day, I'm a napper. I'll go to sleep then. Go to sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'll be honest with you.
Sleep is the cousin of death.
Hey, listen. When this is over, when I can't wind this watch, I can't get nothing else, then I'll stop. But Gene, tell him, huh? Did I ever stop? I can't stop. Let me tell a quick story. There was a time, and back in the days, I was a young man, younger, and Gene was at the same facility, working at the same place. He didn't talk to me for the first year I was there. We were the only minority, so to speak, out of however many people worked there. It was 98% white. And he didn't talk to me for the whole first year. I just thought the man didn't like me. The white people talked to me, but he didn't. I thought he didn't like me. After a year, he looked at me. He said, hey, young blood, you official now. You work here now. You got a 401k plan. You got a dental plan. You can take care of them boys. We can be cool now. but I had to make sure you got this job. I still didn't have a car. So on Friday, when we got paid, Gene would rush me to the bank, help me cash my check. You remember that? Take me to a Greyhound station. I would get a ticket, get on a Greyhound bus, go all the way back to Cleveland, get off that Greyhound bus, get a train, from that train get a bus, pick up my sons, get back on that bus, back on that train, back on that Greyhound, come back home, order pizza with my boys for the weekend. That's me. Do you remember that, Shawn Porter? You remember that? Act like you know.
You trying to make people cry here.
Act like you know. No. I'm simply saying that for a reason, right? My motivation come from somewhere else. It don't come from nobody telling me, hey, you have to be this kind of man. You have to be this type of person. You have to do this type of thing. It came from a higher power, right? And God put people in my life for a reason. I understand that. And who is here is supposed to be here, and whoever ain't, you ain't supposed to be here. I will pay you to go away. Bye.
I said, you got to get me out of there. So the ladies were real nasty. That's just what it is. I was on line with this lady for like 2 hours. You got to just be faithful. I said, I'm faithful. Trust me. I said, I'm a walking testimony. I'm good. You ain't got to feed that to me, but thank you. I appreciate it. Well, here's a flight. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Tyler. I can't get you on that. Oh, here's another flight. We'll get you there. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Tyler. So I got off and I said, damn. I called my wife. I said, man, Kenny got me coming out here, man. I don't want to leave him hanging. And she said, well, baby, just hang in there. So something said, look up. Real talk. I looked up and it was this older lady that reminded me of my mother-in-law. And she waved, I don't know if she was waving at me or waving at somebody else, but I was like, hey. So I went over there and I said, how you doing, darling? I said, I'm on flight 181. These people down here being really nasty to me. And they said, there's no flight. She said, let me see your board pass. I said, what is it? She said, no, be quiet. Let me see your board pass. I said, but man, they said, no, be quiet. Let me take care of this. Oh, I see an 850 straight flight. You get to the 950.
Amen. Kenny, I got a boxing question for you real quick.
And hold tight. The moral of my story is not about the pizza. It's not about the ride. It's about doing what I was supposed to do when nobody was watching me do it. Without somebody having to tell me to do it. Because there was never a father in my life to tell me to do that. Right? And so Gene would do that. He would make sure he got me to that bank. He'd make sure he got me to that Greyhound because he knew I was doing the right thing. So when that 50th anniversary came, I said, hey, let me get them out here on that plane with his lovely wife. Right? Absolutely. Right? Because he did what he was supposed to do when nobody was watching. And that's what you guys got to do. When I ain't watching, y'all got to be able to pull this thing off, man.
Kenny, we've been asking these young men about a lot of boxing questions. I have a question for you. What attributes do you like in each of those fighters? Like, what's something you could point out in each guy that stands out that you like in them, as far as boxing?
Short words. I'm gonna make it short and sweet. A dog. Just 50. I wasn't happy with the tattoo. I got to tell you that, dude. Just big ass 50 on your back and all that. I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? This boy put a tattoo on his back like that. But just flat out, I was gonna say something sooner or later, wasn't I? How long you had that tattoo? How long? A year. So I'm saying it now. Anyway, just flat out a dog. I have to literally. I have him on a leash that's invisible that I have to pull back. And one day I actually jumped in the ring and grabbed him. He turned around and got ready to hit me. And I wasn't mad because it's just a dog in him, right? He turned around. He was ready to hit me. So just in a word, just a tenacious, aggressive, just a dog. Never quit, never stop. You knock him down, he gonna get up. Ain't nobody knocking him down. But if that happens, he's getting up and he's coming again and again and again. This one right here, a lot like the little brother who takes after him in that same situation, Malik Montgomery, 16-0, 15 knockouts. At 126 pounds, gonna move up to 130 pretty soon as well. Extremely aggressive. I'm an aggressive person myself in everything I do. I'm always trying to get it done, whatever that is, and move on to the next thing. And he's a lot like that in respect to be that extension of me when he's in the ring. And a lot of people say, oh, man, he fight like Shawn Porter. He fight like Shawn. No, he was fighting like that before I met him. Right? I'm just sharpening up what he already does. Right? And then the young man to the left of me here, Henry Cedeno Martinez La Bazooka. Yes. He called himself a complete boxer. I'm going to say, yeah, that is, in a lot of ways, that's true. But he's more of a natural, fluid boxer that can change his style from righty to lefty, orthodox to southpaw, fluidly, seamlessly switch styles with no hitch, no second thoughts of it. Very, very fluid in his movements and just a natural boxer. So instead of saying what he says complete, I'm going to say he's much more a natural boxer, extremely talented. So that's what I really like about him. So we got an extremely aggressive guy down here on the end, just flat out dog, never quit, never stop. We got a much more physical, bigger specimen of the same type of style, but aggressive, and has proven himself to be a knockout artist. He will hurt you bad. And then down here on the left, we got a guy who just naturally gifted in his boxing. And I agree with him when he said he probably was not playing with toys, but boxing at an early age, doing things that other kids weren't doing. I totally agree with that because I see that in him all the time. If we can get Mr. Mallets and yeah, go right ahead.
Next up, we got a couple more speakers. We already had a couple of them, Pancho, Brother Lewis. Up next, we'd like to ask Mr. Andy Mallets from the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, to come up and say a few words.
All right, I'm back, y'all.
Just one correction.
Okay, yeah. So right here speaking is Andy Mallets. He's from back home as well. Um, my dad invited him. He's helped us do some business back in the day when we were still in Ohio. And I think they're gonna make an announcement about something they intend to do back home with promotion. So I'll keep you guys posted. But because the audio was so bad with that mic, we just cut it. Not that not that I'm translating for Mr. Mallets here, but he's just kind of speaking about the work that he's seen my dad and I put in at the gyms back in the day when we were around the way back home in Ohio.
Listen. I don't joke. I count for a living, and I do it well.
Watch your pockets when you're
I don't gotta watch them. I got hands too. I'm excited to see what the future holds for all of you. And there are a lot of people who came out today just to see this, and I think you all have bright futures. I hope you have bright futures. But one of the things I always think about is dedication, right? And everybody speaks about dedication too often. And a lot of people don't put in the work. And when I think about KP, my brother,
Back with y'all. All right, yo.
overly
Listen,
there for others.
we're gonna let
Right?
Steph finish
He's
speaking
going
here,
to
and then we'll
give
probably
you
wrap it
more
up.
than you need every time. If I call KP and say, hey, I need $1, he's coming with 10. If I say I need lunch, he's coming with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So you came and asked for a trainer. He came with as a trainer, as a brother, as a dad, as a protector. He came with everything. And I just hope that you all come with the same type of intensity to match it. And you said it. I think the cameraman said it. He came for the triple OG. And KP always says, I'm all G'd up. He's all G'd up. He's all G'd up. He's all G'd up. He's always all G'd up. And the irony to you being all G'd up, and you got 3 G's with you. And I'm just here to tell you, I appreciate you. And as my brother, I want you to know that I got 3 G's for you too. An option for 3 G's. 3 different countries that you can choose to go through. Ghana, Greece, or Grenada. Because you need to relax. Because oftentimes, I know what boxing is, I know what sports is like. People are going to bring you through a lot of trials and tribulations, respectfully. And you're going to have some challenges, but I know you like to vacation. So pick one of those places, one of those 3 G's, and feel free.
Greece?
Greece?
No, you can't do it like that.
You can do it like that. You can do it however you want it. You get it however you want it.
Pay the cost. Where my cousin at?
You good to go.
Tell her what I did.
They told me something different. Man, they do
I'll see you in Greece, man. I'll see you in Greece. We're going to go to Greece. You don't got to chase me out. I got you for Greece. Yes. Read your card.
We finish this?
Being that you're into words. He's a wordsmith.
Yeah, not into the plutography.
He's not in, he lives the plutography.
Right.
I'm a background dancer. Hey, you want your mic? Hey, there you go.
Okay. And this my cousin do this? It must be my cousin. The BCE, best cousin ever. With the best cousin ever right next to her, my little cousin Pancho. He older than her though. KP the boss, the man with the plan. Because you are all G'd up, pick one. Greece, Ghana, Grenada. Take a flight. We love you. I'm with all that. I'm with all that. I'm with all that. I feel all of that. But anyone can see that what you do makes a wonderful difference. Thank you, your family. I appreciate that. It was not expected. I got some gifts myself, but that was not expected. I do have some things that I want to give out, but let's continue with this. Go ahead. Thank you.
Oh wow. Sorry, Jay Sharp, to hear about your loss, your recent loss with your dad.
Disappointment is the stepchild, the deadbeat daddy of expectations.
Jay Sharp, make sure you reach out to Ant, big
All
dog.
right.
I know I told you that.
Do we have
I think it was a couple
more
weeks ago
questions on the floor?
when we were on the live.
Comments,
I told
questions,
you to make sure you reach out
trips
to Ant.
for me?
Please do. Please do. Listen, I'm gonna nutshell this real quick before we get up out of here. But my dad wanted me to be here with my PorterWay Podcast, or the PorterWay Podcast, to be a part of his special announcements. He was meaning to announce that these fighters would be getting fights soon.
And
some things didn't really work out the way that they wanted to, but nonetheless, my dad has some gifts and things like that he wanted to give out as well to some of the people out here. Mostly family and friends are here tonight. The other side of that is he wanted to kind of just expose what he's been doing since Shawn Porter. If you guys haven't seen or didn't know from watching the podcast or possibly seeing him, he's been pretty low key with everything that he's done. But he's got 3 fighters. One fighter did not sign the contract before he got here, and my dad like I ain't playing no more games with you. And another fighter that he's done a lot for recently as well. But he just wanted to expose his fighters and expose what he's been doing recently since me. And again, he wanted me to be a part of it. I'm happy to be here, happy to support my dad, and super, super, super appreciative for you guys tuning in to the PorterWay Podcast as always. Um, we're gonna wrap on the show. I think we've been on for a good hour and a half, huh? Probably longer than that, huh? 2 hours. So we're gonna get up out of here. We're trying to put together. Pay attention to my Twitter. We're trying to put together a live post-fight press conference, live show at the post-fight press conference after the fight tomorrow night. So y'all make sure y'all just staying tuned in to my Twitter. Tune in to me tomorrow. I'll be on live at the Zone show with Ak and Barack and all day, and then gonna try to make sure we make it happen tomorrow at the post-fight press conference. We will be doing a live. Are we gonna do the podcast live tomorrow? Yeah. We're gonna at the least we're gonna try 9 a.m. Pacific time. We're gonna be out at paintballing tomorrow, running around and just trying to enjoy ourselves and have some fun and show it to you guys. Whatever we aren't able to show you guys tomorrow live, we'll also have on the Patreon. I know I keep talking about the Patreon, but just want you guys to see everything that the PorterWay Podcast are about on the podcast and off the podcast. All that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, one more live show Sunday um, at Blue Wire Studios, 1:30 p.m. Pacific time is our live show time. We're gonna recap the fight, recap the weekend, and all that good stuff. That's it. This is the PorterWay. Thank you.